Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Investing Bros. Do we got a show lined up for you guys? 88 gang in the house. Let me hear you yell it out in the chat. We're going to be covering a potential pump coming to Cardano due to recent whale movements. We're going to cover that a little bit in the TA section, a little bit in the news section, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Also, Coinbase is now suing the SEC. What could that mean? Because they're saying that all of this lack of regulatory clarity is something that is a problem. Let me know if you agree or disagree, but that is pretty cool to see those lawsuits coming right back at the SEC. And of course, even though this is not crypto, we will definitely dive into what happened yesterday over at Fox with Mr. Tucker Carlson. Wow. I did not say his name. That's an easy name to pronounce correctly, and I'm not even pronouncing that one correctly. Tucker Carlson. What happened with him? We'll give you guys our opinions, our takes. We won't go necessarily deep down the rabbit hole, but it was very interesting to watch that happen, especially in light of things we've seen happen recently with censorship and everything happening on Twitter, that people are getting angry as censorship is going away. We got a banger of a show lined up for you guys today, so do not go anywhere. Go ahead and smash that like button right now. We got over 50 people watching, but only 23 of you have smashed that like. I have a feeling one of them is Shroom that hasn't smashed it. Speaking of Shroom, I got two fantastic co-hosts, one of them being the Mr. Shroom. How are you doing this morning?
Well, I'm doing better than I deserve, Tim. I'll just say that straight up. I'll say it from the beginning. I'll say it from the start. I'm doing better than I deserve. I'm 2 days into being fully remote worker, and I'm loving it. Those of you who read our newsletter yesterday got to see some unique insights into the inner machinations of my mind, to quote Patrick from SpongeBob there. And I hope that you guys really appreciated that, and so far it's definitely something that seems to be appreciated. Well, Tim, I'm not only better than I deserve, I've also got a pretty fetching quote here from someone I don't think we've heard from on the show yet, and that is that is Morgan Freeman, who said, "If you're not living on the edge, then you're taking up a little too much space." A pretty radical statement there, and I'm right on the edge of the words. So I think
you're taking up too much space.
That's good.
Ironic.
Thank you, Piper.
Ironic quote. Yeah.
Oh, and now I have disappeared. Now I'm not as good as I deserve because I'm gone, and I'm only a disembodied voice. But yeah. Oh, back in the studio. All right. So anyway, yeah, that's a great quote, and I brought it to you this morning. You gotta love it.
Thank you for that, Shroom. Question: did you smash the like button already?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
Just checking. Sometimes
screen if you want.
I feel like there's been numerous times where we've caught you like midway through the show and you haven't even smashed the like button just yet. But then we're asking all of these beautiful people. Go. Yeah, let's see. Let's prove it. Prove you smashed the like button.
Go to my screen. Oh. Wait, that's not the like button. That's the dislike button. Oh man!
Wow.
Sorry about that,
folks.
Hey, while you're here,
classic switcheroo.
Got the Chart Prime, link, Robinhood link, resend link. Got a lot of really great links down there. You're gonna love them.
It is, yeah. And I'm glad to see you now smash that like button. We're also joined by Mr. Army Piper this morning. How are you doing, Piper?
I'm just running a 3-ring circus over here, Tim. You guys are cracking me up today. So, no, I'm doing good. And I did hit the like button. I smashed it.
Good.
And
Good.
What else? There was a nice moment there this morning that we were talking about. And you were talking about catching Shroom in weird situations. And I was reminded of yesterday when he took a drink of his coffee on the live stream and then realized that he was live. And so that went around Discord, and it was a very funny set of pictures over there. So if you're in the Investing Bros Discord, go look for the pictures of Shroom being caught off guard yesterday on the live stream. So,
ooh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of golden nuggets over there in the Discord. We did have a super chat that just came in, so we were going to read this one. The late adopter said, "Love the show." I don't know if I agree with this next part though. He said, "But you got to hire somebody who isn't colorblind to change the blue frame and blurry black thick text. I don't know why color blindness has anything to do with that, but I think it looks pretty good. I don't know.
I think it looks
Man,
good.
thanks for the constructive feedback, though. Love you there, late adopter. Glad that you're late, not here. But anyway, so let's go ahead and jump on in here. We're gonna read some names in a second, but really quickly to my two co-hosts.
Wait,
I don't know if you guys have voted this.
Was that a reference to Better Late Than Never?
We're gonna go ahead and move on with the show here, there, Piper, and we're gonna ask the question.
Is the opposite of early adopter. Early adopter is like a technological. It's like a tech industry term.
I would rather be a late adopter than a never adopter, though.
That's true.
I don't know why we're.
That's true.
Why we're.
Yeah, unless you're talking about 3D printers. All right, yeah, keep going.
Okay. All right. Well, now moving on to serious things, because this show is a serious show, everybody. Piper and Shroom, you can only have one sandwich the rest of your life. Which do you choose? Turkey and cheese, peanut butter and jelly, a meatball sub, or a hot dog? And yes, that is answering what I think of hot dogs. They are sandwiches in that classic debate. Which one do you choose? You can only have one. The rest you have to get rid of for forever.
Hot dog.
Meatball sandwich.
Meatball sub. There we go.
Love a good meatball sub.
It turns out, according to 51 votes, you both are wrong. The correct answer was turkey and cheese, it looks like. 38% saying turkey and cheese. Meatball sub falls in second place at 29% currently. Peanut butter and jelly at 20%. I mean, all of our vegetarian friends out there are definitely going to say peanut butter and jelly, seeing that the other three are definitely meat related. But there aren't that many sandwiches out there other than peanut butter and jelly that are. I mean, you could have other combinations like peanut butter and banana or peanut butter and Nutella, but peanut butter and jelly type of deal that keeps you from eating meat. Either way, let us know in chat. You guys can go ahead and go vote on that. Speaking of chat, though, let's read some names of people here this morning. Our first commenter of the day, shout out to Mr. Elliot Locke. He did come in first with a mellow fellow falling right behind. Man, I'm starting to think there's a lot of bots out there now, because the bots, the ones that we have kind of a confirmation that bots are being used, they haven't won a lot recently. So I think there's either a new amount of bots happening or just absolute insanity of skills clicking on buttons on a computer. Let us know, Elliot Locke, which one are you? Are you a bot? Are you a skill? Mike Play is also here. Crypto Trappa is here. Eric Wallen, Joe Nickel, Justin Eubanks. Who else do we have? We got Bob here this morning and Spee with the 3 E's. Love to see it. Who else do we got? We have Crypto JMP. Oh, buddy, that is a name that definitely there's not a single chance in the world I'm going to pronounce this correctly. But I have a feeling that the J, is the J silent or is the N silent? Nymphoa Terrence or Gemfoa Terrence. One of those letters has to be silenced, unless it's Njemfo, in which case you use both of them. Either way, we're probably going to find out that's pronounced Clarence or something. I don't know. But thank you so much, Terrence. Whatever your first name is, you can let us know in chat how you actually pronounce that one, and then I'll forget it, and we'll have the same butchering process later on down the road. Curtis Rorick is here. Ninja Glock is here. Crypto Pew Pew Cruz. Brian D. John Kahn. Who else? J.N. Carr. Mr. J. Gia S. Jeff Sullivan. Philly Skills 1428. Who else do we have? A couple more names, and then we'll move into our content. Wind Peoples is here. Grand Roofing Incorporated. Average Crypto Joe. Moonboy's in chat. There we go. So everyone who wonders who Moonboy is, there he is. He comes and watches Investing Bros. Who else? Last couple. Jeep Girl. Late adopter. We read him out, but thank you so much again for that super chat, late adopter. Elo Brown, sir. Oh, Maguera. I always get that one wrong. I'm sure I can get it wrong again. JH, and then special shout out to Mr. Caleb Franzen. I did see him in chat, and that's going to do all of our names for this morning. I did see a couple others, but guys, we got to go ahead and move on with the show. If I did not read your name, it does not mean I don't love you. We just got to get into this amazing, juicy content, starting off with our economic outlook from Mr. Army Piper himself. Go ahead and take it away, Piper.
Thanks, Tim. And hey, for anybody out there that's having audio issues, I had to restart my video on YouTube playing also, and it fixed it. So it's something on YouTube's end. I just checked it all. So jumping in here, let's look at what we got going on, which is not a lot, Tim. We have not a lot going on in the world of the macroeconomics here. So today we're pretty much nothing big going on. We've had a couple of things come in. New home sales will be coming in later this morning. I mean, it's supposed to look neutral, static here, so we'll see how that comes in. The big one is going to be on Friday. That's what everyone's waiting for, and that's this core PCE price index. So, still slotted to come in at 0.3% for consensus, 0.4% for forecast, and right now we'll just kind of waiting for that, and I think that's why a lot of the markets are waiting for. I think it's going to come in pretty decent. But what I do want to show is the Trueflation. And let me refresh this just to make sure I got the latest data. Yep, there we go. 3.86 on Trueflation. So it looks like we're going to be coming down quite a bit. I have not seen yet, though, on the FOMC, which I'm sure you will show me, is what is going on with those numbers. I think there might be a little shift going on there, Tim.
There's a very small shift. We did have it all the way up to 90% the other day, predicting that we were going to go ahead and go with 25 basis points. We're down to 84, so not a major shift. We're still pretty heavily suggesting that we're going to have 25 basis points. But remember, it's got a long time. We have 8 days left until that FOMC meeting. And again, it's one of my hot takes that something is going to happen between now and the next 8 days that is either going to at least shift people's thoughts, and I think we're going to see this graph start to get a lot lower, and we're going to see the pause start to increase, or we might even just see Jerome Powell himself come out and pause. Not 100% certain what that will be, but it would make a lot of sense based off what we're seeing on the charts. Before we get to those charts, though, let's go check on the crypto, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, still sitting at 53, the same place we left it at yesterday. So no updates there whatsoever. We're going to kind of breeze through Bitcoin TA today because there's not a whole heck of a lot happening. I'm going to do some Cardano TA. We'll do some Ethereum TA. And then, of course, we might even have time to look at a couple of the charts this morning in the early portion. Of course, though, if you guys stay, today is the last day. We're doing a 90-minute show. So if you have a question, if you want to see us do some TA on some of your favorite altcoins, today's going to be the last day to have that happen on YouTube. After that, you're going to have to jump over into Discord and interact with us more over there if you want more TA happening. That being said, let's take a look at what's happening on Bitcoin this morning. 4-hour chart. This yellow box continues to hold up. We did have a nice long wick yesterday after the show. This is about 12 o'clock. This is noon. So about an hour and a half, 2 hours after our show yesterday, we did have a wick that dropped us all the way down and touched below 27,000, but it popped back up, and you guys will see on this 4-hour chart at least, the daily candles are just continuing to withhold and stand above this line of support right here at about 27,200. Just as we talked about, we had this wick back here on April 3rd, and we're continuing to respect that level, similar to what we did back in 2019. So not necessarily too much is happening there. Let me pull up a couple other things here. Starting off with our oscillators right here. This is going to be interesting because this kind of depicts, are you a cup half empty or cup half full type of person? We've got both bullish and bearish divergence forming at the moment. It's a little harder to see on our chart prime oscillator, which is amazing. But let's take a look at the RSI right down here. You guys can see the peaks are climbing all the while. The peaks are getting lower. At the same time, though, the lows are getting higher as well, where our lows keep bottoming out. So we have a little bit of both bullish and bearish divergence happening right now. And it's going to be a little bit of a wrestling point. The fact that we're still below the 50, if we had crossed above the 50, I would give this more credit to the bears and say, hey, I think the bears are going to win this little wrestling match right here. But the fact that we're still low on the RSI, I still think it's something that's kind of on the technical side, still anyone's game. Of course, I'm continuing to hold to the fact that what we had happen back in 2019 is repeating itself right now, and this is exactly the same thing we saw happen back there. So for those reasons, I'm still leaning bullish on Bitcoin. Of course, we crossed below, turned our 4-hour dynamic reactor red here just a couple of days ago. Do not be surprised to watch us continue to trade sideways for just a little while longer, maybe even come down. Don't be surprised to see another little pump that gets us back above this yellow box, maybe come back up towards 28,000, and then we come down one more time to the bottom of this yellow box, and then we see our bounce and move to the upside. That is what I'm kind of seeing on the charts, especially if we continue to repeat what we saw happen back in 2019. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to show you guys, because you guys could go back and watch the show yesterday. There's really not that much different on the Bitcoin chart. We are back down. We're in the golden trading band on the 4-hour chart with, according to our chart prime, predictive ranges. But of course, we're kind of doing some things that respect other levels. Let me see what the hourly chart's doing with those predictive ranges. All right, so on the hourly chart, we're actually using the bottom gold band as support. So we're continuing to kind of respect this level. I think this is actually a very good chart to kind of watch how this will play out next couple of days, staying between our two gold trading bands over on Chart Prime. Right now, we do have the hour oscillator on Chart Prime kind of flirting with that 50 line. So let's also watch what happens right there. Same thing, though, you guys will see we got bullish divergence. We see the prices right here are dropping on the hourly chart, all the while at the same time the RSI and the Chart Prime oscillator, they're moving to the upside. I don't know why this is not letting me drag this and fix this. There we go. But at the same time, we're also seeing some bearish divergence happen there as well. Not as much as a 4-hour chart, I will say. So you do actually on the hourly chart have more bullish divergence forming than you do bearish, although I don't want to say it's not there because it absolutely is. There's a little bit of a wrestling match right now going on Bitcoin. We got to wait the next couple of days to see what will actually happen. Let's move over to Cardano really quickly, though, because this was the title of the video. I'm sure there's a lot of people in chat who saw Cardano in the title. They said, let's go check it out. The 88 gang, the Cardano community is phenomenal. You guys always represent very, very well. So as far as the TA is concerned, it's not necessarily that complicated. This is what we talked about the other day, though. Let's just talk about it again. Same thing with Bitcoin. We talked about these lower levels. I kind of gave us a range out back on Friday to watch Cardano between 38 cents and about 37. Well, sure enough, this is where we are finding our support. Same thing with Bitcoin, though. Look at what we have going on here. We technically have some bearish divergence where our RSI peaks are getting higher on the 4-hour chart, all the while the price action peaks are getting lower. At the same time, though, the bullish divergence is coming in as well, which, hold on, got to shift this just a second because it wants to mess with me here. We got our lows getting higher here on the RSI. At the same time, we got the lows getting lower on the price action. So again, just like Bitcoin, we're sitting here with a little bit of a wrestling match. What is going to happen? Well, we're going to talk more about this in news. Shroom is going to talk about the stories when we get over into the news talk section. But we're seeing a lot of whale activity on Cardano, and we're seeing the transactions begin to skyrocket. A lot of times you see this come in at the same times we see pump in the Cardano market. We've talked about this a while before, but we've talked about this for a while, that Cardano also, one of the reasons to be bullish about Cardano is it is one of the most oversold projects still in the crypto market. It is still drastically down from its all-time highs. Let's actually go take a look. I don't know what the exact number is right here. So let me take a look at what it is down from all-time high. Gosh, there's so many things that pop up on TradingView that end up blocking things. Let's go. Right now, we are still 87% down from all-time high. Cardano has not really been able to rip through and get a nice bull trend like we have seen with Bitcoin and Ethereum and Polygon and others. So it's one of the reasons why you kind of have a twofold approach to what Cardano's price is doing. On one hand, you're like, man, it's oversold. This is a coin that maybe I could get in right now, and even if it goes down a little bit, my losses wouldn't be as great as some of these other coins that have rallied. But then you also got to ask the question, all right, well, why isn't Cardano rallying? Why is the price staying so suppressed? Is this a sign that Cardano is not as strong as a project as a lot of people want to believe that it is? You've got to make that decision for yourself. As for me, I still believe that Cardano has, if not the best, one of the best development teams in the game. They absolutely are the most secure and the most trustworthy to make sure they don't make mistakes. And as we see these whales start to flood and we're seeing transactions beginning to get back towards all-time high, especially of whale action, that is a massive sign that the whales know something we don't know. We're watching retail kind of get out of Cardano, and we're seeing the whales start to flood more into it. That, in case you guys are wondering, is always signs that the smart money knows better than the dumb money. Retail investors more often than not should be classified as dumb money. Whales are smart money. If that holds up, we should see a pump happen for Cardano. Last thing I'll say here before I throw it over to Piper for Ethereum TA, because I know he has some juicy stuff there. Keep your eyes on what we see developing here. I talked about this on Friday, but what we're forming currently right now would be a double bottom. If this double bottom were to play out, we have our top level of resistance right here. And what you're looking for to make a play out for a double bottom, if we can continue to hold these levels at 37.71, even if we go a little bit below it, we could see a bounce back, not only back up to this level of resistance, but a breakthrough that goes above it that could send the price of Cardano back up to 54 cents, a price that we have not seen in reality. Might want to even round it closer towards this top right here at 52 cents, but we haven't even seen higher than 40 cents for well over, let's see, this would be 6-7 months. Not good at math. 5, 6, 7, that's like 8 months. Correct me in chat if you guys think that's 7 or 8. I'm not really doing fast math in my brain right now, but we have not seen these prices in a very long time. We could very well see Cardano make a push up to those levels before, as we talked about, if we start to see real momentum come back into Bitcoin, come back into Ethereum, come back into crypto space. If we continue to see the onslaught of the US dollar just day in and day out getting shellacked by the media, getting shellacked by other fiat currencies, getting shellacked by crypto in general, we could see Cardano start to skyrocket, get back up to 70 cents. That's kind of our top prediction. If Bitcoin were to make it a push towards 50,000, if Ethereum makes that push towards 3,000, 3,600, we also could see Cardano very easily make it up towards 70 cents. Let me know in chat, though, what you think. Again, the charts, there's not necessarily craziness going on right here, but we're going to talk more about this in the news. And these types of news articles are the ones that you're looking for that can help move markets, because it's not just like made up stories. It's actually data that's coming in and being reported. With that said, though, let's shift over into Ethereum, but I'm going to throw it over to the king of Ethereum, the borderline Ethereum maxi, Mr. Army Piper. Piper, what are you seeing over on Ethereum's chart?
Sad boredom, Tim. Sad boredom. That's what I'm seeing on Ethereum. Continuing its little downgrade here, just a slow grind in. As I put in yesterday, let me go ahead and just isolate a couple of things off here so I can show you what I'm seeing. I do have this mid-fib, and this is going from the high that we had back in August down to the very bottom here. We are still holding on the 786, and I told you guys yesterday once we broke into that I expected that we were going to retest down here on the 786 at 1825. It was also in the newsletter, so if you read the newsletter, it was in there. This is where we're just kind of sitting right here, grinding along. A lot of support coming from this previous resistance that got flipped into support, retested here, printed on its way back up, got a nice reversal down flag from the chart prime reversal mode. Down we came back in, tried to hold that 886 at 1921. Down we came, right? But what happens if we fall from here? One thing I want to show you, if we go from the all-time high to the low, we're also hitting on the 236 right here too. So the 236 is falling in nicely with the 786 from the mid-fib levels in the all-time fib levels overlap together. Another one that I want to talk about is if we look at the Oracle and we look at where that is going to be falling in line with the value area high here on the fixed ranges. This is going all the way back to this period back in here, which is going to be early January, okay? So if we look at that, the value area high of that is going to be falling right here with the dynamic reactor. I think this is where we're going to see our greatest amount of support, coming in at about 1775. So I'm not overly concerned about what's going on with it. Let's go ahead and pull up the RSIs and look here. Yeah, you can see the RSI does look like it's about to start to flip here down in this bottom range. I think if this pulls down a little bit harder, though, and hits this either the value area high or even the golden pocket,